or inspiration. Bring us up to speed.
I can do it.
Heh.
I haven't done a recap in a while. Let's see. We following the bar fight, we started off in town the next day. Discovered as we were going about various endeavors that the caravan had been robbed in the night. Gil, who is the stable guy that's supposed to sort of be keeping an eye on things, had been hit in the head with a shovel, and a number of items had been taken, seemingly mostly trade goods, saffron, bolts of fabric, strangely some salt. Um, that was weird. Definitely weird. We sort of went on with our day for a little bit. There was some shopping done. Cal and Dominic made their way up to the residence of one Mr. Flowers. May he rest in timey-wimey peace. From what we learned about him, there was some stuff there for Cal, including a letter that said, "If you get there, take the job," or something like that. Um, we'll just put that down to timey-wimey stuff. We then sort of pooled our ideas and decided to try to, after speaking with Aaron and the other um, owners of the Bronze Voyage, agreed to investigate the robbery, see if we could find the things that were missing. We made our way out of town following some cart tracks to the residence. We picked one of three residences at random because some fleece had been found at the crime scene. So we knew that, well, vaguely knew that sheep were in the what's the word I'm looking for, orbit of whoever had stolen from us. Tracked down to one of three houses. We decided to take house number one, which turned out to be Zane, the I think half elf we had met during the bar fight the previous evening. Uh, a team of crack commandos made their way quietly through the tree lines into the not rafters, onto the roof of the house, while the rest of us, led by Cal, provided a distraction at the front door. Everything was executed expertly. There was certainly no shenanigans at all. We definitely didn't just burst into his house and then have to turn around and go back and admit that we were going to finish ransacking, not ransacking, but checking his house. But that's actually what did happen. And so we are currently standing on Zane's doorstep once again, ruining this poor man's evening.
Yes, go ahead. Give yourself some inspiration, sir. I'm gonna bring us over to the Oakenstall map. But Zane's house is all like theater of the mind right now. um, um, okay, cool. You all, you have you're standing you're standing at the outside of Zane's house. Um Kalawunax has just stated to him that there you're gonna finish your investigations. Um and um uh you hear that Zane responds and says, okay, I'm not exactly sure what it is that's going on here, but I think you've just about worn out your welcome. Good day. And he moves to close his door.
And I'd move to put my foot in it.
Okay, the door slams against your foot. Do you wear shoes? You have boots?
No, probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm just
Yeah.
just a curiosity. Like,
Yeah.
is
No,
it
that
all
hurts.
scale or are there boots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. um.
Uh, Zane, I'm terribly sorry. See, this is not optional. Um, when first we began our search, we were unclear as to whether or not you were involved, hence the subterfuge. Now, however, um, I, at least for one, am fairly certain that you are not involved, but having heard from my compatriots that the search is incomplete, we can't leave in good faith until that search is done. And I will point out, right, as fearsome as you are with your metal bar, um, you've seen what we're capable of in the bar, right? Let's be reasonable, right? This will be over in no time, and you will be able to go on with the rest of your day. Uh, we will be able to go and investigate your neighbor, whom we are still quite sure is very dangerous. Um, and assuming that the search here reveals what I fully expect it will reveal, that you have had nothing to do with this robbery, then highly likely that in addition to just being dangerous and certainly being an asshole, uh, we will find that your neighbor is in fact a thief and you won't have to deal with him any longer.
Can you roll a persuasion check with disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looks at you and his eyes scan over the rest of you a few feet away. You can see he's contemplating the words that you've said and kind of you see him doing some math in his head. Oh, I see how it is. So you just kind of because you can, you just use your strength to push people around.
When it comes to righting a wrong and returning stolen property, most certainly.
You see he lets go of the door so that it can be moved. And he takes a few steps back, pulling the door open, and says, well, you're right about one thing. I can't stop you if you wanted to.
I hope
You know,
that's yes.
I just want to say this up front before you all forcefully enter my home. Um, you know, Brom might be an asshole, but he never broke into my place.
Duly noted. You know, you mentioned that I was right about one thing. Hmm. I hope it's not the only thing I'm right about.
He uses the fire poker and like waves it as like very sarcastically, come on in.
Oh, well, very kind of you. And I'll turn to everyone. Please, Zane has invited us in to conclude our investigation.
You enter in to Zane's house. It's, two-story farmhouse. It's large, but still modest. It's not overtly, decorated. It has, what you would kind of expect from a farmhouse. I mean, everything looks, I mean, everything is handmade, obviously, but some of the stuff looks like, I mean, like his family probably made it, right? Like it's not done professionally. But there is like like a dining room kind of area that leads into the kitchen, which the kitchen is like a wooden stove top with some pantry shelves and whatnot nearby. There seems to be like kind of a sitting room off to the side of the living room, and that leads to the back door going out of the place. Um, and then there's steps that go up to the second floor, which you all know there is at least there's two rooms up there minimum from what you've seen. Odds are there's probably three or four based on the shape of the house. But that is kind of the general layout that you get. The wood creaks beneath the wooden floor creaks beneath your feet as you walk in. Um, and Zane kind of stands there, just watching you. What are you all doing?
I think I'm only going to stay to the first floor and look around. Give some brief remark about how this isn't how this is about finding something stolen, not taking advantage of someone's time, but it's mostly mumbled and understood that it's falling on deaf ears.
Mhm. Zane responds of, "Well, then you should maybe look into the village thief." Um, his demeanor towards you all has obviously soured.
Mhm.
Okay, Rainier's looking around through the first level. What is everyone else doing?
uh, with the absolute best she can do to contain the abject embarrassment that she is feeling right now. I she will go directly to Zane. Um, um, about about the village thief. You said Gil got Gil got attacked again last month. Was there another caravan or something in town?
And we get caravans often. People have stopped here. I mean, I honestly, it was a while back. I can't really recall.
Okay, okay, sorry.
What is Kalawunax doing?
Uh, has made himself comfortable sitting at a table, and he's pulled out a deck of cards, and he will invite Zane to come play cards with him. And if Zane refuses, then Cal will just start playing solitaire.
um, Zane takes a seat. This is at the it's basically the dining room
Mm-hmm.
table. Um, and he takes a seat and pulls out a chair, takes a seat, pushes it in, um, and the table itself is not very large. It fits probably, you'd say, two to a side, one on each end, so six people altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Looking around, it's clear that at one point this was a home to more people, um, but it is just him in it. You can pick up on the signs that there are things that are kind of like left in place as is,
Mm-hmm.
and there are signs of people, someone lives here, but one side of the table seems to have more scratches on it than
Mm-hmm.
others. Um, and there is a large woven rug covering most of the floor inside that room as well. It's a very like dulled pale green, probably used to be more vibrant, but
Mhm.
hasn't been cleaned in a while. Um, but he does not uh, engage in cards. What is Merv doing?
For the moment, I think he's actually I guess I'll do like an investigation check. He'd probably just be looking around,
Hmm.
poking
Well,
stuff with his feet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For Rainier and Merv are looking around. Describe to me what you are doing. You can't just investigate the room. You need to like pick an action and do it.
Yeah, I'm investigating the floor. So I'm walking around tapping with my like bare feet, my bare halfling feet, like
Okay.
looking for false bottoms, looking for like like hiding places, trap doors, anything. It's easy for me to get to the floor without fucking around too much.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and make a investigation check as you're messing around the floor. What's Rainier doing?
Not bad.
Um, we've already like so deeply invaded this man's privacy that he's not actually putting in a lot of effort to like overhaul the place to really deeply look. I think he believes that something's upstairs, but like he's not going to go. Actually, you know what he is going to do? He's going to ask our gracious host if he'll accompany him upstairs so he could uh, look at the upstairs.
He looks at you and says, "Ain't nothing here that I'm hiding. All right, all you're gonna find up there is my bedroom, my parents' bedroom, and my nan's sewing room."
One of the things we are missing is actually some very expensive fabrics. If you'll just give me a moment to get my eyes into that sewing room for just a moment, just to put us all at ease. After that, we'll all leave.
You'll find the doors are unlocked. And does it look like I can afford fine fabrics?
He'll just go upstairs and look for that room specifically.
Cool. You see, as the floorboards creak as you make your way upstairs, it's one of those homes like anyone downstairs can like visualize where Rainier is moving based on the sound, right? Old farmhouse. Um, you find exactly as he's describing. There is his room, which is a single small bed, roughly like twin size ish, a simple-ish kind of room. Some clothing, laid out, hung on things, but not. There's like some dressers inside there. You see what he mentioned at his parents' room, a larger bed. There's a bit of a layer of dust inside there. Looks like it hasn't really been messed with for a bit. And then you do find a sewing room, and there's a little less dust in there, and you see signs of like certain areas haven't really been used too much, but you do see signs of use. There's like some fabric layouts. It looks like he has used this room to like make clothing, like his own clothes. Um, what are you doing in that room?
Um, a surface level glance to see if anything maybe just got tossed in here, and besides that, uh, a looking to see if there is a place where fabric has been stored, and then like basically immediately checking the bottom to see if anything has been stowed under. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Like I'm
Uh,
looking for either basically someone threw it in here and then closed the door and walked away, or has very deliberately hidden it.
yeah. Very good. Roll an investigation check, and then also roll a D100 for me. Um, and Doug, what is Dominic up to?
Aiding in the aiding in the investigation. I would be Rainier went upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have joined Rainier then. As far as what he's doing, he's going to be doing what Merv is doing, but for the walls.
Okay, checking on the walls. Okay, very good. Yeah, also roll an investigation check as you knock and feel for, false walls or hidden panels, that sort of thing. Dawson, is your mic working? Are you able to say anything in the Discord? If not, you can type in like what Laylis is doing.
Yeah, that's a 4.
That is a 4. Okay. Okay. All right, Dom, you do not find any false panels in the walls or anything like that. Everything appears to be exactly as it seems. Rainier, you look around and you certainly do like find places that fabric is stowed, but it is like hempen fabrics, a lot of wool. You don't find anything more expensive than like you find a silk shirt, but like it has tears in it that have been stitched up. It something that's already done. You don't find like the things that you're looking for, right? Like a 100 yards of silk, like you're talking about a roll of fabric that is like itself probably 3 foot long, and if it's in a crate still is like 4 or 5 feet long, right? Like it's a big crate you're looking for. You just find sewing supplies in this room.
Then I'm gonna go downstairs, leave a gold on the kitchen table, and then walk out.
You begin heading downstairs. Merv, you're tapping around
Yep.
on the
Just tapping my toes.
yeah, tapping around on the floor, and you tap around near like in the living room area, and you do get a sense that there is like some kind of chamber underneath. Like there is a bit of an echo from that investigation.
I I kneel down. Do I feel like the edges of anything?
I mean, there's like floorboards, right? But there's no light from below,
Right.
so like
I will.
you're not able to like
I will,
see detail.
as an action, gently trickle out some of the salt water and watch for it going through cracks.
Yeah, I mean it.
Just little dabs, like dab, 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 and just see if it goes through.
It goes through the cracks in the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely does.
But then you listen, and like, do I like if I try to listen in there, do I hear it like fall a distance?
Roll a perception check as you
I'm not as good at
bring your
these.
ear close. Okay. It's. I mean, it has to hit bottom at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but you didn't hear anything.
If I like put my eye up to it and look through, I am a halfling, so I don't have dark vision.
Yeah. You don't see like any like from the little cracks that you can see like that are in the floorboards. Like you're not able to like see anything below. There's also like no light, so it's also again very dark.
All I really want to get then is that, do I know that there like is a chamber there based off the sound and by looking and not seeing a floor underneath the floorboard?
Yeah. Well, based on the sound, you think that it could be an eternal hole through the center of the earth.
It might be like I bet it's like a stairwell.
Yeah, it could be a hole into the netherverse, but you're certain that there is, an opening at the very least underneath the floor.
Uh,
Rainier, as you lay your coin on the table and beginning heading towards the door, you see out the front door. You see a rider approaching the house. They're moving like they're galloping as fast as they can towards the place.
I fully go out to meet him.
Okay. You head out to meet them. Merv, what are you doing?
I try to flag Cal and point at the floor. Like, I don't think I'm particularly subtle about trying to get Cal's attention and pointing at the floor.
All right. I presume that I catch this not so subtle signal.
Yeah, I mean he's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
Uh,
I would very much like to cast a spell,
Okay.
and that spell. I don't know why it's giving me rolls for this, but that spell is friends.
Okay.
I have actually one more thing I can do. This is there's like a very small gap, right? So if I take like a coin, I could fit a coin sideways through it.
At some points, right? Like these are like
Yeah.
it's wooden floorboards, like so like sometimes you can shove something down.
I will use magical tinkering to make like one of my silver coins light up and then
Ooh,
just drop it.
cool.
So it
Cool.
has a 5-foot radius and dim light an additional 5 foot.
Okay, all right. So small but light. Cool.
Yep.
You see the light drop, and then only like you're an intelligent
Mhm.
person. You see your coin drop. You hear that clink a little bit.
Mhm.
It kind of bounces and rolls for a moment, coming to a close. The light you can see, there's definitely a chamber underneath here.
Okay.
There are like you can see like the edge of like a shelf, and you see there's like it's like a dirt earthen floor with like
Uh-huh.
some stone every now and then.
Worth
So
mentioning that light lasts indefinitely and I can't turn it off unless I touch it.
very cool, very cool. um okay, you have cast friends, I'm assuming on Zane, Cal.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask him, Zane, level with us. What's going on under the house?
Okay. I will. Okay. So all right. He's friended for 1 minute as you're concentrating on this. He uh um he looks at you and the first thing he says is, "What did you just do? You
Oh,
did some
so,
kind of magic. What did you do?"
well, I've been having a hard time with this game of solitaire. I needed an ace.
Right. I have a cellar. All right. Most of us do. You store food in there. I use it for jams.
Ooh. Jam sounds delicious. Maybe take a look.
Rainier, the rider approaches, and you step out to greet them. As they saunter up on the horse, seeing someone coming out, you see a female with like curly brown hair, some like kind of golden streaks in it, lightish brown skin. This is the female elf that the Zane was sitting with the other last night.
Right.
And she approaches and she has like a very curious look on her face. Says, "Wait, I remember you from the Manicore's tail, right?
Rainier Catterfield. I'll hold out my hand for
her. She kind of leans down and shakes her hand. Adelaide. She looks around the place a bit. Where's Zane?
He's inside. There's been some sort of desperate misunderstanding. Our caravan was robbed last night, and our investigations of trying to return the stolen goods has led us to this house. And we're hoping to be out here, be out soon. We just want to make sure that Zane is clear in light of any further investigation. It maybe has gotten a little out of hand is the apt word, but no one is hurt, I promise, or has come close to it.
You can see her, like, she has a bit of a flush and then a paleness to her. Her eyes like widen with what you've just said. Wait, is he?
No one's hurt.
Well, I'll just make sure of that myself.
Absolutely. We just want to make sure we don't want it to have been anyone in this household, but it would be remiss to have let any of our possessions have remained where they did not belong.
She brings the horse up, and there's a hitch in the front of the house. She slides off and hitches the horse, and as she comes around, joining you and then making her way towards the house, she says, and then anyone in the house can then hear her voice as she is, making her way inside. You hear her say, "Well, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with what happened with Mr. Flowers this morning, does it?"
As far as we know, no, but we have no way of knowing. Although the two incidences seem to be, it would be rather far-fetched, I think, for a gentleman. Well, I'm not sure that I fully understand what happened to Mr. Flowers. I've just heard wind that he died.
Oh, it's more than that. Words all around town, and she's like entered into the house at this point. It's all around town. Brom Whittingham was seen leaving his house, and then when the neighbors checked, Mr. Flowers was dead.
Oh shit.
Yeah. She like turns and then sees, like everyone here in the room. And like her eyes kind of scan around for those that are in here. And there's a lot of you in Zane's house. Um, Before she says anything, Zane says to you, Cal, it's I have a bit of a spider infestation down there. So it's if you're afraid of that sort of thing, it's in disrepair as well. I mean, I haven't used it in maybe a year.
Not much of a jam fan, are we?
He
Well,
does not respond.
Perhaps, once we conclude this investigation, my friends and I could clean the cellar out for you. Maybe get rid of that spider problem in.
I'll do it right now. I'm gonna go downstairs.
You look
Anything to
around.
get out of this room.
Yeah, you look around, like looking for the entryway to the cellar. Nothing out back. There's no door or stairs that lead down.
How do I get?
Zane, please tell us how to get down.
He looks at all of you, and his eyes turn to Adelaide, and Adelaide like senses the mood in the room and says, "What? What exactly is going on here?
I'm not entirely sure. Zane invited us to sample some lovely jams that he says he keeps in his cellar, and yet won't tell any of us how to get down there. Says there's too many spiders. Perhaps you know how to get into his cellar.
You see her eyes flick to Zane and then to you. She swallows and says, I mean, take the stairs, I guess.
Okay, look, but I don't. Can you point them out to me?
Look, I'm not sure. Look, Zane's a very dear friend of mine, and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with whatever's happening here. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm the mayor's daughter, so
The mayor must be very happy that we helped save you last night.
Listen,
How
we're
does
just trying to make sure that anything that may have been stolen has not been here. That's all.
and you think Zane of all people took some? I mean,
No, we
it's
think that the trail that was paved in the road led here. And we are just trying to ensure that Zane is not attached to it. So if Zane has any reason, there is no reason for him to not allow us to take a quick look and then leave.
Furthermore, if there are things untoward in this house that aren't related to the stolen items from our caravan, we don't care.
you see, she makes her way over and stands next to Zane, puts a comforting hand on his shoulder, and he places his hand up on hers and squeezes it a bit. What's Dominic been doing?
Um, uh, Nothing but when what's his face? Amber was talking about going downstairs. Like he was very clearly ready to follow until all this occurred.
Okay. And what about Layla's? Dawson, or is your mic okay?
How does it sound? I have to use my laptop.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's weird. But I guess I'm not gonna try to persuade anybody. Not right at this moment. Nope. I will just make it worse. I want to stand behind Rainier, and be like a backup support, ensuring that what he's saying is true. That we're not here to upset anybody, accuse anybody of accusations, but here to verify it and then move on. And if they have nothing to hide, then it shouldn't necessarily be an issue. We don't care if they have a dead body. We just don't want it. We just need to see if they have the belongings.
Okay, got it. Cal, go ahead and make a your choice depending on how you're playing this, right? You can make a persuasion or intimidation. The friends will give you a flat roll instead of disadvantage with your interaction with Zane.
Okay.
um, you see, he looks at Adelaide, and they have like a moment there, and she says, like a whisper, maybe it'll be okay.
I look over. I'm like, "What are you whispering about?"
Zane's eyes shoot towards you and he says, "Nothing, nothing."
Oh,
You do understand that the next step is we rip up the floorboards.
And also, I can't get that light to turn off unless I touch it. So you might just have a light down there for a while. I don't know if you noticed it, but it's definitely there.
You can see like there's sweat on Zane's brow
Right.
beginning to come down the side of his face. Look, we didn't mean for anything. We just saw an opportunity. Yeah, I can't. If I wanted to, I need money to present myself to Adelaide's father, and it just seems so easy. I mean, there's still a way for all of us to come out on top here, though.
Are you expecting us not to?
Oh no, he's talking about bribing us.
Oh,
Right, which not a bad well, Rainer's gonna have some thoughts.
I actually have an idea, but I do need those goods returned.
can we just check the basement?
Maybe we could give him like just a little bit of the goods.
See, my plan is we can go and talk to Adelaide's father and tell him how kindly and presentable Zane has been in helping us acquire our stolen goods.
Oh,
We don't
you
have
won't
to
make
point
him out to
him in
be a
any
hero.
direction. Yeah, we don't have
Oh
to
hell
point
yeah.
him Yep. Don't have to put him in any direction towards any criminal. Just say Zane did the right thing and found the right person.
That's good shit right there.
I am pretty damn smart.
Right, you are.
True.
Yeah, what do you think about that there, boy?
Zane looks up at Adelaide and she kind of gives like a, maybe look. And he looks back to you, Rainier, and says, you would do that?
Hell fucking yeah, but this is my job on the line if we don't get this stuff back.
You gotta move on.
Question. In this circumstance, who is the thief?
We don't need to tell him anything. Say we handled it amicably and we have moved on. However, Zane did us a good turn. We appreciate his help.
And
Adelaide speaks up and says, we were going to frame Brahm, so that's still...
Oh,
Okay, that's
I like that
Now,
idea.
you are
like that.
appealing to what most of us are particularly interested in. However, as we have discussed, as shitty as a guy as this is, if he didn't do it, it's not fair for him to deal with the law of the land on account of having been accused of stealing.
It's also not fair for him to be doing this to the people of the town, but fairity just doesn't seem to play in people's favors.
Well, there's also Gil.
Even better look.
Well, I mean, Gil was hurt. I don't think that's fair to put on someone who didn't hurt him either. Not that Brahm's not a giant
Look,
jerk.
I didn't mean to...
How does he pick on you if you're the mayor's daughter? You were at the same table with like, how is the the what do you have, like a sheriff, a guard?
There's a constable, but he's drunk most of the time. Brahm doesn't mess with me so much. I mean, he respects well, I don't think respect is the right word, but he understands the authority my father has. But I mean, that doesn't stop him from messing with Zane or anyone else.
So
Zane speaks up and says, "Look, I didn't mean to hurt Gil. Okay, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't think I hit him that hard. I just wanted to knock him out, and that was it. All right. But I didn't.
Did you do it last time?
No, I just thought, it's like it happened again, right? It's just easy to, write it off.
That poor man is going to suffer permanent brain damage.
No. I took care of it. He'll be fine.
I believe Gil is fine. Gil can be handled. He'll be fine. It's fine.
Well,
How,
I mean,
Listen, if we
however,
want to do anything, to bring justice to Brom, it ought to be for something he actually did. That's all I'm saying.
however, let's not forget the fact that Brom was seen hurt running from the estate out in the outskirts of our dear friend Calowinax's friend here. He was running from the scene.
Yeah, but
So
that's for the. We're just supposed to get the stuff back. That's for the constable, or the militia, or someone who actually has the authority to do something about that.
what I'm saying is we haven't investigated necessarily if he was the one who did it. What if we run across evidence that he did do it?
We take it to who's ever in charge.
Agreed.
all right. If okay,
Why don't you show me the stuff and we'll get it all back and then we'll figure out some story. I must say, I think we need a better story than just these two helped and that's all anyone needs to know about it. I can't
like
imagine that that's going to satisfy anyone.
It'll get Aaron, and that's all that really matters. If we bring the stuff back, that's all Aaron needs to know. We tell Adelaide's father that Zane helped us find him and that Aaron has decided not to pursue the thief. That's all anyone needs. Everyone here, and he gestures with a pointed finger at everyone in the party, is already very much in the mind of bringing harm to a gentleman who has nothing to do with the situation. And as much as I am very interested in seeing that guy kick rocks, that should not be affecting the decision at all.
Fine.
I mean, it's like related though.
Exactly. At
I
least
think
he understands.
On the one hand, I think it's like two separate things, right? Like that framing him, that's one thing. Giving this boy the hero treatment, that's another one. Getting you your goods back is a third one, which, as you said, is priority. And then we address the other ones.
Just throwing this out there, however, there is always the option. Let's say we run across evidence that Brom did commit a murder. We could also add this onto Brom's record, and he wouldn't really be out of it, and this would all be blown up if that was the case.
Zane, can we get our shit back?
he stands up and looks at you across the table, Cal, and says, "Can you give me a hand with this?" And like puts his both hands on the edge of the table.
Certainly.
You move the table aside, and he reaches down and then pulls the rug over the floorboards, and you see there is a hatch underneath.
I will move to pull up the hatch and then start walking down.
Cool. Hatch comes up. It's not locked. There is like rickety wooden steps that go down into what would normally be a darkened environment, but there is a small amount of light. Do you have dark vision?
I do not.
Okay.
I
So
do.
it is very dim in there. There is light coming in like through the top, right, like coming down, but like you have like stark lines of
If
light and shadow.
if the coin is still down there, it's still shining
Yeah,
light with.
it's still shining light where it
It's
is,
only
but it
5
doesn't.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fill the space. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you see an area where like there's some shelving units that have like you see like a little reflections of something on some of the shelves. And the space is like, roughly like almost like half the floor of the house, right?
Okay.
It's pretty large.
I'm not searching for it at all, but if the coin that is emitting light is easily, if I can find it easily, like I'll just
Yeah.
scoop it up. Otherwise, I'll just
Yeah, it's
go
right
by
there.
whatever
It's
light.
right.
Okay, yeah, I'll just
mean-
scoop it up so I've got a little light with me.
Yeah. I mean, anybody else want one? I could do a few more.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Zane, why don't you show me where this stuff is?
You see Zane steps down and he at the bottom of the stairs you see that he picks up like a lantern and a little oil lantern and lights it, and then the space illuminates and he hangs it on a little hook from the ceiling. And you see that pretty sparse in here, but there is a shelf with little glass jars that do appear to have something like that could be a jam inside of them. He wasn't wrong about the spiders. There's like they like scatter as the light fully comes in. Not like it's not like a Indiana Jones like like spider situation, but like a little more than comfortable. What is like probably semi normal for the cellar of an old farmhouse. And you see there is two very long crates, and he walks over to him and says, "These are the silks,
Okay.
and in that bag is the saffron."
Okay. I will instruct him to grab one of the ends of one of the large crates, and I'll grab the other and I'll just sort of push it along, and I'll yell up, "We're sending the crates up with the silk in them."
Cool. Not they're like unwieldy, but not too heavy, right? The weight is
Okay.
not the problem, right? It's just a big thing.
Okay.
But you bring the crates up one by one. There's the satchel that has the saffron in it.
Well, I'll slow down,
Okay.
please, because after passing off the second crate, I would like to try and surreptitiously scoop some saffron out of that satchel
Yes.
and put it in a pouch.
Okay. Has anyone come down here besides Zane and Cal?
I'll come down. I could see.
I mean, yeah, I'm going down.
Okay.
I would have gone down.
Okay, I just want to make sure we establish like who is down there.
I'll real quick make myself a coin. Coin light.
Okay, cool, coin light. Okay, so you there are a fair amount of people in here, but you are welcome to do so.
Yeah, I'm going to try it anyway.
Yeah, so it's in a satchel that you have to like. How are you like? It's in a satchel and presumably in like a jar you have to open. So how are you attempting to do this?
Well, I have to ascertain that it is in fact the saffron, and that it's not just a crate of Lord knows what.
Yep.
Right. So I will sort of announce that I'm opening it just to verify that we have the goods indeed. Right. And then when it's open, I'll just try and dip my own little pouch in there and scoop some saffron out. I realize it's not as expensive as I thought it was prior to the start of this session, but it's still a pricey spice.
It'll still be worth it. Yeah, it'll
It's
still
still
be worth
fancy.
a lot. Yeah, it's still fancy.
Fancy.
Okay. Christ. Okay. Roll sleight of hand.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh shit! I seem to have bumped out. Lord, I dropped some saffron. I mean, I can't imagine a 12 is going to get away with it, so I'm now just
Yeah.
covering my actions mode.
Right. I mean, Ember, Dom, and Laylis all make notice. Rainier, if you were down there, you would also see that.
Oh shit.
My passive perception's way too low.
I would like to
Whoa.
attempt to help him because I see what he's doing. As going leaning down to pick it up, I would like to roll for sleight of hand to see if I can
Okay,
swiftly.
Sure, it will be more difficult because
Oh.
there are more eyes like that have like caught what is happening, but you are welcome to.
I can't believe we've gone through all this trouble to retrieve stolen goods just to have it get stolen again.
Oh.
You drop the jar and it breaks. There's a rock nearby. It shatters on, and the saffron spills over into the dirt.
I'm not gonna touch anything anymore.
God, that's
Everything all right down there?
I just walk out. I just turn and walk out.
I can
Yeah,
fix the
there.
jar, but I can't get the saffron back in it.
Mm-mm.
You get to tell Aaron this. You get to tell Aaron what you did, Laylis.
I will tell him I dropped the jar.
Okay.
There's no need for
Understood.
that as I'm scooping up all the saffron and dirt and spider webs and
Yeah, hell yeah. Do you want to make another sleight of hand because this is an opportune time to do it?
well, I can't now because I don't have a second container for it. Like the jar's broken. The only container I've got is my pouch.
Right. Well, I just mean like you're like scooping it, so like you could like not put some, somewhere. I'm just saying like this is an opportunity for you to attempt it again if you wanted to.
Nope.
Okay.
I kind of insist.
Okay. Are you guys scooping the saffron? Like what is happening?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, Cal's scooping the saffron up and putting it in a pouch.
Okay. All right. Cool. So there's some dirt, and, a little spider in there too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. You have the silks, you have the saffron.
How is the saffron conveyed up?
In a pouch.
Okay.
I just look at Rainier and I'm like, it wasn't. We're getting it back to Aaron.
You say that as if the reason Aaron didn't want it was because it was valuable. And it was being transported on behalf of someone else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
As
the
you all
thieves weren't careful with it. He's lucky he's
Exactly.
getting any of it back.
Exactly.
as you all step back into the living room, dining room area, you see Zane closes, turns off the lantern, closes the hatch, and begins. Him and Adelaide pull the rug and set the table back on again. And they say, "All right, so what now?"
We'll go return this, and then I and whoever else would like to join me will be coming back to take both of you to your father's house. And he looks at Adelaide.
They look at each other and nod. Zane takes a step forward and says, "Look, I'm sorry about all this."
I know. Stealing, especially for something like this, is not the same sort of dishonesty and disintegrity that others in your town have become familiar with. I don't mind speaking on your behalf.
He gives you like a bit of a smile and nods, not like a full bright smile, but like acknowledging, and says, "Well, all right, we'll be here." You all have two crates. Again, they're roughly like 5 foot long, about like 3.5 feet wide. Um, Two of those, they each like all together weigh like 50 pounds each. And then of course the satchel of saffron. How you guys getting it back to town? Just hefting it?
How
Taking
much do you
turns.
think
Hell
you can
yeah.
fit in here? I got a big inside bag.
I
You know?
don't think the crate is gonna fit.
Yeah, but you could just take all the stuff out of it and put it in here.
No, we can't.
I
This
mean,
is
like a
not.
lot of it.
These are not our belongings. They should not have been tampered with in the first place.
I mean, it'll make the crate way less, easier to carry.
Zane,
It's not the weight; it's the size.
Zane, do you have a cart that we could borrow?
Yeah, but I don't have a horse. We used Adelaide horse.
Can we use Alan first?
I could probably pull it.
You could pull it?
What?
Pretty
What?
strong.
Oh hell, I'd like to see that.
Zane shows you the cart out back. It's of the carts that were out back. There is one that was functional. Um, um,
Quick look. What is wrong with the other two?
One of the wheels is like one of the axles for the wheels is cracked. So you can see that if it were to like be moved, there's risk of the wheel just like snapping, right? So like that needs repair work and replacement. The other one is just old, right? The wood's bad on it. It pretty much needs replacing. Like the whole thing needs replacing.
It's just it's done.
Yeah, like rot. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Got some rope. Can make a little harness, and I think I can do this.
You want to fashion a little harness you can pull this cart?
Well, it doesn't have a handle, so
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
got like two little, like, kind of rungs off to the side, like wooden things coming out on each side of it. Then the horse would go in the middle of it, where all the bridle and everything would connect in. So, I mean, you could tie a rope and connect it and, pull yourself, pushing with the rope. Yeah. I mean, you can do that.
I'll brace up to help push if we're not going to use the horse that is here currently.
I guess that is one way to make sure that they stay here, because like they'd have to walk.
Oh, we were actually really hoping to see you pull this thing.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Not gonna lie.
I mean, you don't gotta like it's not.
It's a long way back to town to make
It's,
our friend Ember have to carry the cart.
I agree. It's just
How about
something to see, you
we
know.
take the horse, hook it to the cart, return
Well, I
the
mean,
goods in town, and then
we-
when we come back with the cart, we can allow Ember at the end to pull it a little bit so we can marvel at her strength.
Okay. We should probably ask if we can take the horse first. It's not
Okay.
our horse, and given everything that's gone on with the stealing and the
Well,
breaking and
okay.
the kidnapping in his own house, I feel like it's just polite.
Yeah. Counterpoint. Uh, we're about to hero talk you and not prosecute you for crimes. So I think you can give us the horse for an afternoon.
Zane and Adelaide share a glance, and Adelaide goes, "That sounds fair."
Right.
We didn't have to be rude, but like, yeah, we just needed to ask. All right, let's hook the horse up.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree, but also
Okay.
this was kind of a walk.
Okay, you have it's a small cart, right? So like it's not a merchant's cart, right? It's a small cart, but everything will fit. you have the horse hooked up, and you can bring it all back to town.
The second we get like out of earshot, Burb's like, "Okay, great job, team. I think we crushed that overall.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
I think there's room for improvement, but you can't argue
Oh,
with
yeah.
results.
Always room for improvement and innovation, right?
Let's just get this back to town.
You got some notes, Rainer, or you are kind of the most
What was that?
you are the most like tactically minded of any of us, so opening the floor for notes on future capering.
Well, not falling off a roof.
What?
Great first step. Perhaps if we are all discussing that we go and talk to someone and investigate them, we actually do the investigating of them. Now, I will say, Cal, I was mighty impressed with your ability to absolutely befuddle the God-given life out of that boy. However, that was deeply, deeply unnecessary given the circumstance. Uh, but I do appreciate that you then went back and tried to correct the situation and did it rather admirably.
Happy to be of service.
I walk over and like nudge Ember and whisper like, "You hear that? You crushed it."
Really do anything.
Right, but you did a little bit and you didn't actively do bad. And sometimes that's more important. He's just like smiling and thumbs upping at you.
He gives that like awkward smile, thumbs up in return, like, yeah.
A long walk turns into a much shorter horse ride. Um, it only takes about 10 minutes, maybe, to get back into town. And where do you bring your cart? You bring it to the stable where the caravan is?
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. Bring the cart right up. You see Gil sitting out front. It's like a sunny day, and he's just like sweating. He's just like he's like he's like kind of like squinty eye hand in the like hand over his head, kind of like peering out the sun every now and then. It's like,
Dear God.
oh, it's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, you're going to want
See,
to look right at it.
you, oh, hey, hey, Miss Amber.
Hey, Gil.
Hey, good to see y'all again.
Hey, so you got attacked last month?
Yeah, yep.
What? What happened? Like, was there another caravan? What happened?
Oh, yeah, there was another caravan. Shovel. I gotta watch out for them. Maybe I shouldn't put them in the barn.
You think? You've been hit in the head twice now.
Well, it
That's-
could be a shovel ghost. So,
There's no.
A shovel
Okay,
ghost.
we got it. We got this stuff here. We need to put back.
oh, well, all right. They Days inside. Hey, Miss Amber.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're he like wipes some flop sweat off his forehead. Hey, I was thinking if you're gonna be around later, I ain't never seen nothing as pretty as you, and I'd like to take you out for dinner tonight at the tail.
Oh, Gil. We gotta get this stuff back first, and then I think we're gonna be leaving soon. Thank you, though. Thank you. That's very nice. You don't need to do that. Hey, Aaron.
You hear her respond deeper in the bar.
I'll be right back.
All right,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
be right here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be right back at all.
Overhearing that, I'll walk up to Gil and say, what's your favorite smell there, bud?
Oh,
Burnt toast.
well, well, if I had to think about it, it'd be, like, soot.
Right, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll like pick up a horseshoe sitting around and use magical tinkering to make it smell like soot. Just hand it to him.
Oh, whoa. What is this?
I think it's magic. It's kind of. It's fine. You want it, or I.
Yeah, this will be my lucky horseshoe.
Right. It'll work until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, don't feel too bad. It just means I needed that.
I don't know what that means, but it's
Right. That's
he
fine.
like deep sniffs.
Right. Consider this a consolation prize for my friend over there. We are quite busy. Gonna be hitting the road. Nothing personal or nothing.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Right. I'm
He
gonna
kind of
fuck
like,
off now.
yeah, he kind of like you walk away, and he kind of both walk. You both kind of like walk away, and he is fully huffing this horseshoe.
It is. It emits an odor that is perceivable up to 10 feet away.
Yeah,
He smells like soot, just in like a pig pen aura now.
yeah. As he like disappears around the corner of the stables, you just hear this. Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Fuck.
Cool. Aaron's inside with Andre, and they're just like checking over the caravan, and she looks up and oh hey.
Oh, hi. We got the stuff. Rainier will fill you in.
You wait. You already found it?
Amber pretty much covered it. Yep.
Well, what happened?
Just found it. Help of a local found it for us.
They just kind of like she just kind of shrugs like, all right, let me just check it, make sure everything looks good.
Yeah, well, not all of it does, but
I don't know what that means.
Cal,
I'm not there.
still shouting for you because as far as I know, you've got it. I think because you're the one who had the bag, right?
No, it's on the cart.
Oh, okay, great. Yep, I'll just hand her the bag then. I did not see what happened.
She opens the bag and kind of tilts it a bit. A lot of dirt falls out. Saffron falls out. A spider lands on her hand. She shouts and then drops it all on the ground.
You'll have to forgive us. It was a mistake while we were moving it. It's nothing. It's very simple. I don't know where I was going
We
with that last
understand
part.
that this does render this material entirely useless. He gives a pointed look at a couple of the others.
Well, maybe we can salvage some of it. She looks over like the you can see like she goes over to the cart, climbs up on like the wheel to get to the cart itself, has a crowbar with her to like pop the crate. She's a very can-do kind of gal. um, Runs her hands over the silk. Andre comes up. Is it good? Yeah, looks good. Starts tapping down the nails on it, and Andre says, "Wow, that was fast, real fast. I mean, we only just told you like maybe an hour, 2 hours ago."
Well, what's Merv and Dom got on the trail pretty quick, and then it was just a matter of good fortune finding the right people helping us find it.
He looks at Merv and Dom, looks at you guys, and says, "Huh,
Yep.
impressive. I mean, incredible, really. Well done." um, Hang on just a moment. He heads back into the barn, and you can hear like a clinking of metal, the very familiar sound of coin. And he comes out with a small, well, not small, fairly hefty satchel, and just holds it like out to the group, to the people standing here, and says, 25 gold apiece is what Aaron, we all agreed to. So here you are. Well done.
Thank you kindly.
Gives you a nod and says, "Oh, well, I mean, gosh, uh, we should keep you around more often for this sort of thing."
Maybe try to avoid this sort of thing.
You do your best. I mean, could have been worse. Could have been, bandits, on the road. That's a lot more dangerous, but everything's here. Well, mostly. So I think I'll find Hubert. Maybe we can pick out some of the dirt here. And he kind of wanders back into the barn and is like collecting the bits of saffron that had fallen. Some stable hands come out and like they gather some of the crates, and you all are relieved of your burden. You have the cart and the horse. You're back in town. What are you guys doing?
What about this bounty for this goblin thing? The amounts of money we can get.
Does it say where? I mean, where to start looking? I mean,
I ran over to the inn to check the board to get the flyer pamphlet,
Cool.
whatever it may
Uh,
be.
Yeah, cool. You run in. It's right by like the inside of the door, so you can head right there for it. The bounty sheet has a a rough drawing of a like a gnarly looking hobgoblin face. It says Drogar the Red, reward 400 gold, dead or alive.
Ooh.
Must bring back head if dead.
Hmm.
But it doesn't like state exactly where. Um, uh, and
Does it state who put the post up?
It does not, but it bears like the insignia of. Although, like, actually, you wouldn't directly have this knowledge. There's like a strange looking insignia, kind of like stamped, emblazoned, watermarked on this on this sheet. And it looks like it's a like a shield with a very large sword going behind it.
I just hold it up to the group. I'm like, does anybody recognize this symbol? There's no name, just a picture, money, and a symbol. Don't know what to do with this.
Vernier and Cal, you both know this symbol from spending time in Bastion. That is the symbol of the Slayer stronghold. It basically marks this as like this is one of their bounties. Someone here from this town probably requested it. Most likely, this is like the town itself, you know, probably asked for this. So you could ask like around town to see if somebody knows like what to do with it. You also did find it in the inn, in the tavern.
The Slayer stronghold. I'm assuming just a or like a guild, like a
Yes, it
monster
is.
killing guild.
Yeah, it's one of the
basically.
one of the guilds in Bastion. The head of which holds a seat on the council of Bastion. They are a major guild in Adari. Their flyers can be found anywhere in the countryside. They like even in in like small towns like this, obviously in their headquarters, but you could like occasionally find them in Karakara and Maras. Like they're kind of agnostic to all of it, right? They're just here to get money, to kill things if you need it, capture criminals if they're people are having a hard time finding someone. Sometimes they have requests of like this one says that like if you can't bring them alive, then you got to bring the head back. um you two would also know that these documents themselves, like the flyer itself, is enchanted by the Arcanium, with essentially like a truth enchantment. So when you go to get payment, one of these sheets is required, and you have to like acquiesce to the truth in order to gain payment.
And what's the guild called again? Slayers
They're called the Slayer's Stronghold.
Stronghold. Thank you.
Yeah, their guild is headquartered in Bastion.
And are we leaving town tomorrow? Is that the?
You actually have today and tomorrow, and then the 8th is when you're leaving. It is currently the 6th.
Thank you.
Come out and face me, brats.
Hell yeah.
Rat King.
I want to get back. Yeah.
We have the option of trying
It is angled in
to
such a way
to turn this round and
it's not hitting you.
turn this in. However, I will remind you that there were not an insignificant amount of hobgoblins that were after one person, and we probably could not have stood a good chance, even just against that band, let alone whoever might be alongside
Yeah, I mean, they got
Drogar.
an 11 still. Like, they have a plus.
What if we just investigate who posted this first? So let's see if we can find the person from the village who's request. I mean, obviously the Slayer Guild people, but then we can just see if there's a representative here that will pay us, and then start there. Do a little investigation, decide if we want to, and then run away if we don't want to.
Just kind of raise my eyebrow and look at everyone else to see if anyone's even interested.
It's not 6 that she kept the whole.
I mean,
We do still
Um,
need to speak to Adelaide's father. Well, you need to speak to Adelaide's father still.
That is true.
I mean, while they do that, we can start inquiring about this bounty. I think it's a
That
good
as
use of
well.
this skill.
I think that's a clever idea.
We can investigate while you guys talk to the mayor.
Sounds settled. Is anyone interested in coming along with me?
I mean, I'll go with you if if you want me there.
I don't mind company. I do mind that we make sure whatever tall tale we are spinning remains within reason.
Oh, well, have fun then.
If we're not blaming anyone, which I don't suggest that we do, we can easily say that we found it at an undisclosed location where whoever took it was holding it. That way, we don't have to blame anyone, and we can still make him off as the hero for helping us find it. He can easily have my contributions of looking down at the ground and seeing where to go.
Clever idea.
We might need to corroborate some things with him at a later time.
I think that's a great idea.
Well, I mean, we'll be bringing him along. He'll be there when we tell the story.
We're gonna like talk him up big, like it was a whole bandit hideout. There was
No.
like 50 of them. He went in that. Okay.
No, that
Yeah,
is
you-
that is actually what I said.
Yeah.
What just about 30
I
seconds
mean,
ago, actually.
Yeah, you did, but
Yeah.
it was exciting for a second.
Yep. Yeah, that is exactly why I made my point.
Murph just nods.
Listen, it's very easy for tales of this nature to get out of hand, and then there is quite the burden on the person that they are centered around to maintain that frame. And in a small town like this, that is not sustainable.
I mean, you're right. You got a level head. You got a calm demeanor. You got big leader energy. Gives a thumbs up. Oh shit! I need to cover my fucking hands. Fucking nightmare. Starts wrapping his hands up. I'm sorry.
All right. What's the plan? Who's going where?
Where's Ember headed?
That is a very good question that I am not sure I have an answer to.
Roll a d2.
Dom is staying to investigate the bounty.
I would like to stay with Dom on this one. I want the
Yeah.
money.
I don't care about
Love
the
it.
When the big swig of water those went down like a foot dunk.
Y'all have fun on your various endeavors. Come find me at the bar when your jobs are done. And Kalawunax is going to wander off actually to the general store first.
Okay, cool. I'll just set you guys here. I'll set you over here. All right, Amber. I'm just gonna set you by the well. For whatever you're doing. Rainier
I
and
will
Merv.
chase after Cal.
Okay.
Yeah, three-way split. Three-way split.
Okay, and
wonderful.
Merv and Rainier together. Okay. Okay. So Merv and Rainier are you going? You're going back to get Zane and Adelaide to then bring them to the mayor.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna back you up with thoughtful nods and body language.
Incredibly appreciated.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Okay, cool. You head back to pick up Adelaide and Zane. They are you just bringing the cart? I mean, you'd have to bring the cart if you all want to travel, unless you want to like she can be on the horse and you all can walk. I mean, that's up to you guys. Eventually, the cart's gonna have to eventually, you're not gonna have the cart
Gonna have
at
to
a
give
certain
them-
point.
We may as well
Bring
give them
Zane
the
his
cart.
cart back. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're grown men. We can
Just
walk.
the easiest
okay.
way.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Bring the card back. Adelaide will she'll walk out of politeness with you and just lead the horse. So that takes a little bit of time for you to go there, grab them, and bring them back. Cool. Okay. Dom and Laylis, what do you guys do? It sounds like you're investigating what to do with the bounty. So what are you doing?
First place I'm going to go is the tavern and talk to whoever is currently working.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. You enter back into the tavern, and there's again the people are it's around lunchtime, so there's a fair amount of local folk in here. You see a lot of cabbage platters being served, and it's early in the day, so Beverly is here, same girl that was here this morning, and she sees you approach and hello.
Hello, Beverly. How are you today?
Oh, I'm just fine. You coming in for lunch?
Partly, yes. I have a quick question, and I will put my hand out to grab the wanted poster from Laylis.
I hand it to him.
Right. Quick question about this. We are in town for a couple of days and looking to occupy our time, but we need to do so in a swift and efficient manner. Who would be the best person to tell us or give us information about Drogar the Readier?
Oh, you guys are thinking of taking out Drogar.
I mean, we have nothing else to do.
Oh, well, I mean, they posted in here, so, we get, kind of informed about what it is. A lot of people ask about it. Um, it's funny. I mean, you just missed a few people. A couple folk a few days ago came in asking about him, but, they haven't come back since. Um,
How many people?
oh, 3.
Mm.
One of them was real big. Orc, I think.
And they were visiting? Were they locals?
Oh, not locals, that's for sure. I didn't recognize them, but they came in. I remember they were asking about the bounty. I mean, they seemed to come specifically for it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They're
we'll
real.
definitely on our adventures. We'll definitely keep an eye out for them. Maybe some of them need help.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, hopefully not. But that Drogar is pretty nasty. I mean, we've had that thing up here in town for over a month and a half. I mean, those folks that came were the first.
You say pretty nasty as if there's been stories about people wearing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been trouble in this area for a little while. I mean, obviously at first we didn't know like who he was or what was happening. Just some livestock would go missing here and there. But um, then they one of the farmsteads was actually attacked, and some good folks died. But there was a survivor, and they said that there was a large hobgoblin, and he like spoke to him, like actually spoke, and he said, what was it? Something about my name's Drogar, and you'll best be staying clear, something like that. But the rumor is that I mean he's big, and the goblins he had were big. Now I didn't see it, right? This is just secondhand information, but I mean that's word around town. I mean, ever since then, he's been more and more of a nuisance.
Where do you think we could find Drogar?
Oh,
Perhaps the previous party said something about it.
I think they were heading east.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where the first farm got hit, so I mean, probably you're out that way.
Fair enough.
Have the attacks always been from the east?
She kind of like looks off to the side a bit. You can see her like scrunching her face, thinking for a moment. Yeah, actually, now you mention it, that's weird, right?
Hmm. I don't think
Yes,
it's a
Andrew.
coincidence.
Oh yeah, we also have this.
I mean, it's out that way. I mean, it's past the city. It's just wild. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't really go out there.
Do you think there's anyone else who, an interested party, perhaps, that may have some more information than you do? Not that you haven't been wealth of information, and I appreciate that.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. Um, Honestly, I mean, maybe Gunloda, but she's not on for another few hours.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, when these things come in, this is the second that I've seen since I've lived here. I mean, they usually, like the mayor and everybody kind of, like we all kind of pitch in some money, and then, the mayor sends word down for it, and then the stronghold, the militia might bring one of these, or the stronghold themselves might bring it. And they just kind of tell us like, hey, this is the thing. You guys do know the paper's enchanted, right? That's the biggest thing you got to know.
Enchanted how? No, would I already know this? I know you explained it earlier, but I'm pretty sure you explained it as the DM, right?
Yeah, you'd have like cursory knowledge of like you're kind of like you have like an awareness of like, yeah, that's right. They do kind of there's like some kind of spell or something involved. It's designed to like try to
Yeah.
make sure people don't cheat it.
Yeah. I was just seeing if Dom specifically would know.
Yeah, like you have like loose knowledge of it.
Then I retract that question. Believe me, I have no intention of lying regarding this bounty. I plan on seeing it to its completion.
Oh.
I'm right there with you.
Well, that's about all. I mean, that's about all I have for you. You guys
Well, the
want
great
any
news,
drinks?
yeah, the great news is we're actually here for lunch primarily. So
Oh.
if we could get some food, that would be great while we wait for Gunloda.
Sure can. She takes your order and serves you up a bit of lunch. It's been like 3 silver for lunch and a drink.
3 silver eye.
All right. Cool. Amber and Cal. Cal, you're heading to the shop, and Amber kind of like comes up to you real quick.
Oh, hello, Amber.
Hey, I just figured. Still, none of us should probably go off on our own, just in case.
Oh, well, this is very fortuitous. I could use your help, actually. If you don't mind, and I'll head into the shop.
Yeah, what you need?
Well, I need to pick up a few pouches and satchels. One to replace the one that we used for that saffron. But I was curious. I wonder if they sell any helmets in here.
Helmet? I mean, maybe.
Do they sell any helmets in here?
Hey, Jim.
You step inside. There's a little ding ding of the bell as you step in. You can see there's people milling about. The owner of the shop is currently conversing with someone. He kind of looks up and just waves in acknowledgement, and returns back to answer some of their questions. Looking inside here, you're looking for a helmet, like an armor kind of helmet.
Any sort of helmet. And just to let you know the quality that I'm looking for, if I don't find a helmet, I'll be looking for a metal bucket.
Okay. Looking through here, there's no like armor in this place. But you do see what looks like a fairly old, a little ragged, kind of like leathered helmet to a degree. Like it's a little frayed around some of the stitching, but it's serviceable as far as like leather helmet goes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's priced for a leather helmet. Price actually in its condition, 3 gold.
Okay. Ember? I don't have much experience with these things. I know that you are a wonder in a forge. I recognize this is not metal, or at least mostly not metal. But do you think this would either fit Gil, or you could retrofit it so that it might fit Gil?
Yeah. Let me just head about, and that's.
Poor fellow's going to have his brain scrambled if he doesn't do something.
Yeah, I mean, it probably fit. I could whip up something better. This isn't gonna do. This is. I mean, this is boiled. It's solid enough, but like somebody hits him
Um,
with a shovel.
Cal, you see a bucket on the shelf, like down and then to the left.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of like a bit of a dented bucket for
Mhm.
5 copper.
Oh, now this Ember, the clearly raw, yes, but much more sturdy, much more solid, and knock against it than that flimsy leather. Clearly, this is the right way to go. Yes.
I mean, gotta. It's not gonna be able to see with it on his. I mean, not that that seems to make a difference,
Yeah,
but
we'll cut a slit or two out.
yeah, I mean, I can help with that. Yeah.
Fantastic. How much for that and the couple sacks?
The bucket's 5 copper.
Mhm.
You want like a little pouch of some kind?
Yeah, like a pouch and a sack. Just shit I can carry stuff in if I need to.
Pouch and a sack. A pouch is 5 silver for pouch.
Okay.
And a sack is 1 copper.
Okay, fantastic. So that's
Yeah.
12, and that's...
Yeah, and the pouch is like it's like a leathered pouch, right?
Mhm.
And then the sack can hold like a cubic foot of gear, you know?
Great.
So
Fantastic. So... I can, well, yes, I guess I'm just about done. Is there? Can I assist you in making alterations to this helmet for Gil? If not, perhaps I could treat you to lunch at the inn.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna take me like at least an hour, so I should probably get started on that, so I'm ready by the time. So it's ready by the time Mervyn, Rainier, and Dom and Laylis are done.
Okay. Well, where would you like to work? I'll bring some lunch to you.
I'll be up in my room in the inn.
Oh, very well. Then I'll just be downstairs.
cool.
Yeah, we'll head over to the inn, and I will proceed to start drinking and eulogizing Brian Flowers.
Hell yeah. When as you do so, a lot of people share and like commiserate with you. They share stories of like how he helped them, you know, in small ways. And like you're hearing this stuff it's a bit odd.
Mhm.
It's a little bit odd, but it seemed that Brian lived a strange nice little life here.
Yes, he loved it quite a bit. His first kiss was right over there. And in that booth over there is where his heart was, the first heartbreak he ever suffered. But he never let that dim his spirit, no.
You also get a sense of a lot of anger in town from these people as well. People are saying things like that Brahm's got to pay, and people are real pissed about like they've all decided that Brahm did it. So there's a lot of people are riled up about it.
Yes, I understand. Brian's taken from us too soon, but please remember the lessons that we've learned from the way Brian lived his life. You cannot let hate fill your heart like this. Replace that with the good memories of a solid farming man like Brian Flowers.
It was taken from us too soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Excellent. Okay, Rainier and Merv, you got the gang. Adelaide takes you to her home, which is the mayor's house, and the mayor is attending to a couple chickens he has out back. He, you know, seems like just like farm folk like anyone else here. The house is like a little bit nicer. Certainly comes with its perks, but he seems very down to earth. Um, he sees you all approaching and waves a hand, and Adelaide runs over, gives him a hug, and he looks to all of you and says, "Hey, hi, my name's Shodlar. Good to see all y'all. I don't think I've seen you two in town before."
No, we're just caravanning with the Bronze Voyage. We're just passing through here for a couple of days. Actually,
Ah.
we came to talk about that a little bit. It seems last night something happened. Stable hand got knocked unconscious, and some of our goods were taken away.
I heard about that. There's a lot happening around town today.
Yeah, so I've heard. Anyway, I just wanted to come by and let you know that Zane here was instrumental in helping us find our our goods and materials. Knew just about exactly how to navigate this town, find exactly what we were looking for. Just sort of left out, and maybe to be picked up by somebody later. But as of right now, since we have everything returned, we are not interested in investigating much further. That said, it was definitely without without the help of the boy, we would certainly have been here for much longer, possibly even have missed the fencing if it hadn't been for him.
Uh, his eyes flick over to Zane, and you can see he's kind of like scrutinizing the information a bit. He looks at you and says, "Zane helped you with this." And Adelaide says, "Yeah, yeah. They say they couldn't do it without him, Father."
And as such, as was offered a reward amongst members of the caravan for retrieval of these goods, he goes to his own coin purse and draws out the 25 gold, um, and then holds it out to Zane.
Zane's eyes go wide, and he looks at you and goes, I, I couldn't, I couldn't take that."
Nonsense! You did all the work.
He looks over at Shadlar and looks at Adelaide, and Adelaide's like, you can see her like next to her dad is like subtly nodding to Zane, and Zane looks back to you, Rainier, and like very slowly kind of like takes in and just says, I I don't know how to thank you."
No need. You're doing a good turn for a neighbor. I'm doing the same. Besides, this is paid for by the caravan, as this is the offered reward. Now, I think it's rather apparent you had no idea what you were getting into. So I know that this was just out of the goodness of your heart. You did the right thing.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I was about to say I will assist with a stern nod.
Let's see. There's.
Oh,
All right, all right,
okay.
okay.
Well,
um, you see, Zane, like has the gold in the bag, kind of like has it near his chest, and is looking at Shadlar, and Adelaide's looking up at her dad, and he starts to nod and goes, "Ah, honestly, Zane, I didn't think you had it in you. Good on you, boy." Well, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for helping the caravans here in town. We rely on them for a fair amount of economic boost here. They bring in the goods we need, and we make sure they leave with plenty of cabbage. Isn't that right?
Oh no.
Well, look, I also heard about the kind of kerfuffle in the tavern last night with a certain Brom Whittingham. Just want to let you know that I understand, things can get heated and out of turn from time to time. So I don't begrudge you all for getting into a little fisticuffs. When I was a younger man, I mean, I had my fair share, but try to make sure nobody dies next time you are in town for that sort of thing.
Never my intention, just doing my job.
Absolutely,
I was
absolutely. And
cleaning a stove.
He had nothing to do with it.
great, great. Well, again, thank you very much. Zane, why don't you have dinner with us tonight? He kind of looks at Adelaide and then looks back to Shadlar. Yeah, I'd love to. They kind of like they turn to you all. Adelaide extends out a hand to you, Merv, and to Rainier, and says, "Thank you so much." Zane gives you a nod. He is very bewildered by his current circumstances and how much they have changed from like an hour ago.
And I know that 25 gold is like an insane amount of money for like a farmer to suddenly have, but like would I know if that's like getting him any closer to having a proper offering?
You feel that based on like the situation here, the like seeing that like Zane has like proved himself in some way and done something to help the town, is kind of, you think that's probably worth a little more than the gold, but the gold is very helpful. Seeing that he can provide in some way.
Sick.
Yeah. A turn well succeeded. A turn well succeeded. Cool. They each kind of like walk with Adelaide's father like into the house. They're kind of like talking amongst themselves, and you're left to your own devices.
Well, time to start walking.
What is this, the fourth time down this road today?
I mean, if you look on the bright side, it might be the last.
Yeah, let's hope.
He'll like hook a thumb like towards the rest of them as they're departing. I mean that was some hero shit you did there.
He shrugs.
I mean, you don't have to acknowledge it, but like it was.
Yeah, well, someone had done something like that for me at some point, I probably would have come out a different person too. So
Fair enough, I guess. I reckon we could probably walk in silence, huh? I got like thinking to do about stuff.
he nods.
Yeah, Merv just nods. You can like hear him slightly muttering to himself and like seems to be like drawing in the air with his fingers, like he's like looking at something.
There's like a brief comment made about like for someone who has to walk in silence, you sure don't do quiet too much.
Now I'm working on it. I'm not used to people.
All right. You guys make it back to town. And do you head to the inn? Is that where you guys are going?
I think that's our rendezvous point, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You head to the inn and join the others for a bit of a late lunch and refreshment. And with that, why don't we take a 10-minute break? We'll be back 12:07.
Dandy.
That was pretty cool. I did not know how the Zane situation was going to play out. I can't believe you guys got it in one. I thought he was going to have a chance to paint, like you left his house to
Yeah.
go across.
I love that we only got it because Cal was like, "Hold on, I gotta get the last word in real quick."
As soon, like, obviously when we first were there and we didn't actually inquire at all with him, that was like a red flag. But as soon as like Sean mentioned like there's a sewing room, I was like, we need to check that house.
There
Like,
were all the casual clues were just there, you know.
I was
Yeah,
trying to
good work,
keep head
Sean.
empty, so I just decided to poke around with my toe a little bit, see if I could feel a
Yeah. Well,
like
It was a
hitting
great
the apartment.
gamble.
yeah, I mean, you checked the exact kind of thing you would need in the like. You weren't checking walls; you were checking the floor. Like, well, okay, okay,
It's like the most unobtrusive thing you could check is just walking around tapping your heel on stuff.
yeah. No, it was so good. I was like, I was like, when you guys were like leaving to go after Brahm, I was like, he's done it. He's actually gotten away
He
with it.
swindled us. We're gonna go
He's
fucking
actually
murder.
gotten away with it.
We're gonna go murder a guy for goods that aren't there.
Yeah. Oh man. But it was very cool how everything like played out. It was very cool. Cool.
I do love everyone's bloodlust for fucking Brahm at this point.
It's
I
like
would like to point out that I have never said anything about framing that poor man. Even though he was specifically racist towards me.
Yeah, like the guy's a real dick, but like let's get him for something that he was a dick about, not like framing for fucking any of the other things that have been suggested we frame him
I mean,
for.
I'm
Like
easily
he's already
suggestible.
a dick. Let's get him in trouble for being a dick, not for murder.
oh man.
We
And
had
then
at least one really enthusiastic person about it, and I'm a little suggestible, so I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, frame job."
Look, all I'm saying now is okay, he didn't steal it originally, and that's fine. However, he has apparently caused major issues and just been, I guess, taking money from the town. What we can do is just go take the money back. We don't have to hurt him. I just don't feel like he should have the lifestyle he has because of who he is. You see?
I mean, you're speaking all the right, like,
And this is the
socioeconomic points. I like it. I
Also,
also think we should eat the rich.
That as well. I feel like this is more of a Robin Hood lifestyle, steal from the rich.
steal from the other criminals.
That's even better way
Steal
to put
from
it.
the white collar criminals.
Ooh, even
specifically.
better.
I mean, perhaps I'm remembering incorrectly, right? And I know this is shocking that Cal has added to the confusion here by telling a story when we were all in town. But as soon as we were out of town, like Cal owned up to the fact that he went and discovered Brian Flowers dead and used the disguise to get out. So
I mean,
at least within the party, we should all be aware that this guy did not kill Brian Flowers.
He's not a murderer.
No.
Just a white
I
collar
know
criminal.
that part's not true. That part I understand.
The town folk sure are believing that he.
Oh yeah,
that he
the
did.
town folk are certainly believing
Yeah, well.
it. And I mean, I know this will also come as a big shock to everybody. Cal cares not a bit what the town folk believe. Like that seems to be a town folk problem.
See, I believe you. I understand that we as a group know that it was you there. However, for my vendetta against him and what he owns, using the story that's been fabricated
Yeah.
is
No,
the
I hear
best alternative.
So you want to round up a posse and go lynch him?
No, I want to cause problems, and then whenever they attack him, we just in that commotion, we kill him, and it's done.
Anybody
But
got
that's
any
like
lynch?
like if we go to Brom's house, right? We
Yeah.
raid it, cause some problems, run back to town, and be like, "Oh well, we saw Brom leaving this dude's house." They go investigate. They go back to Brom, while the town people are just like absurdly ravaging his house. We deal with the rest of Brom.
We're there to investigate the murder of Brian
Exactly.
Flowers.
But we need to bring
we
Brom
brought
to
an
the
angry
location.
mob.
Well, no, we go there first, just us, to investigate the murder of Cal's dear friend Brian Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
We agonize or antagonize Brom, bring him back to the. We make him follow us technically. Like we piss him off so much, he chases us right all the way back to the village. We accuse him in front of him. Go to said house of accusations, show them the proof, and then we use the town as the
Here's
leash.
a counterpoint. That's a lot of rolls. And at least one of those rolls is gonna go badly. And if any one of them goes badly, this ends up really bad, really bad. Personal, your plan is sound, but it is contingent on like 7 really critical rolls. That
Also, we've been rolling like shit.
yeah, and I'm not confident in my rolls, so I don't.
That's fine. However, I may not understand where we would be rolling these things. To piss off Brom, I feel like all we have to do is throw rocks through his house. That's like easy.
Okay.
He doesn't have
Or-
to know why we're there, because then
or
he's gonna
just
think of a
exist.
thing out of it. Huh?
Said or just exist. He seems
That
to have a problem
too.
with people
It
with
will be an
ears.
elf adjacent to him.
We don't need to tell Brom why we're at his house. We just need to make him piss off, so he chases us.
So,
And then
okay, here's actually one. An athletics check to not get caught by by Brahm as we're running back to town.
oh, dude, we have got this. There is so
Not
much that
all
we
of
can
us.
do.
Some of us are little and
We don't need to
run as
take the whole
fast.
group.
Some of us are proficient in athletics and still can't fucking lift a person onto a goddamn roof.
This is
That
true.
might be true. However, we can readjust what we're good at, right? We can work on that. Training.
So one fast person goes up and throws rocks until Brahm chases them all the way back to town.
Yes.
I can't bonus action
Presumably,
dash.
you have to kite him like a boss in World of Warcraft. You gotta like throw a rock at him every like 20 or so feet, so he keeps following you. Just like when he turns around and starts to walk back to his house, you throw a rock at his back, and then you keep running.
Even better. Even better. Wait, this is a question for Sean because I need clarification on this.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of an actual fight, if I use the invisibility skill, it gets broken with the action of attacking. However, since we wouldn't be in an actual fight, would throwing a rock at Braum while invisible consider it
Yeah.
as attacking?
Yes. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That does fall under it.
It's like offensive action.
Yeah,
So,
your
like,
your intention is harm.
yeah.
Now, like if you threw like a rock, I'd have to like reread invisibility, right? But like if you threw a rock like to distract him, probably not.
It says the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell.
Yeah, so like if you were like did like a distracting action, that's different. But if you're like hitting somebody with anything, that's game mechanics. It's considered an attack.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
Also,
enough.
throwing a rock at like a thing technically qualify. Like if you tried to like throw a rock at a window, it might technically qualify as an attack as well.
Well,
If you
I
like
wouldn't
threw a
use it
rock
right
on
away.
the ground, like a little ways away from you, so it makes a noise, that's a little different.
We are spending a lot of time thinking of a fireproof way to frame.
Yeah, I mean, I can make you a rock that screams. Would that be helpful?
It might actually.
I mean, I can't. Here's the thing: once I make it start screaming, it won't stop screaming till I tell it to. So
That's not gonna help your like hiding.
Yeah.
People can still hear you, even if they can't see you.
I have a better idea. How many? Okay, so for your rock, right, to make it
Uh-huh.
scream, can you copy something that you've heard?
I mean, no, I'd have to probably scream into it.
It's like a recording thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, if it depends to what degree you think a scream is a non-verbal sound.
I mean,
I'd say
it's like if somebody has minor illusion,
Yeah.
like they could replicate, and then you could record that. Like there's
Yeah.
combinations of stuff that could be done.
I have
this
minor
is so-
illusion.
Oh my god. All right, so let me tell you. If you can make an illusion of said, what is his face? Palunax's friend. The one that's dead.
Brian? Yeah.
Yes. You make an illusion. You make that illusion scream. He records it in his room. We get Brom to said house first and just have the rock scream at the top of its lungs. And then just we pretend like we heard it from him and just
Are we
ring
trying
the
to-
village.
Are you trying
I'm
to like
really-
the Christmas tale him?
Yeah, I can also make a rock that jangles like chains and a rock that smells like corpse. So
Oh, this is so great.
I
Here-
gotta
here's
keep
the-
one open for charcoal horseshoe.
Now,
Here's-
one fault in this though is minor illusion is objects, not like creatures and people.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. We make a rock smell like rotten eggs. I break into his house and hide it somewhere where he can't find
So
it.
you just want to prank him.
Classic Frank. Classic.
I mean,
See, that is equitable justice to the
Yeah.
dickishness that
I
man
want-
has already.
I want him to suffer.
I could make a fart rock and you could just leave it in his house.
You fart rock.
Oh, I could actually make a rock that just sounds like a really loud cricket. And we
Wait,
just leave that inside his house, so there's just a never-ending cricket chirping
Yeah.
from a
Ins-
rock.
instead of a rock, we do a copper piece. That way I can slide it through the floorboard.
And yeah,
Unless he has a basement.
I'll
In
make
which
it
case, either way. I'll
sound
find
like
something.
just the loudest goddamn cricket ever.
Ooh,
He'll
cricket would be
only
good
hear
too.
it from 10 feet away, so he'll only hear it when he like walks over a particular part of the floor. Just hears where's that goddamn cricket?
I'll put it somewhere in
Are
the
y'all
dining
talking
room.
about Telltale Harding, Brown?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's the beating of his heart.
I remember when Sean did this thing exactly to Adam. Like this exact thing to Adam.
I
When?
recall that.
When?
How do you not remember that?
What
That
do
was
you-
it. That was in that was in Willow's game. You put a cricket rock in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
Like disrupted his sleep for like a week.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. This
excellent.
is such great ideas.
Okay. Well, let's see how you put these ideas into action. Everybody is here. Ted, you're here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. You guys are having lunch at the Manicore's Tail. Everybody's here. I'm just gonna I'll just put you at the big table. We'll just say you guys are all over there. Cool.
This town will always have blue cabbage. Glug, 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 glug.
Well, for at least like a day or two.
There is a mixture of like people are through Cal's behest, both lamenting the loss of Brian Flowers and also calling for blood for Brom Whittingham. You are all together though. What are you doing?
Are we gonna go kill a bandit?
Wait. We should inform them about the bounty. That's
Sorry.
400.
Say that one more time.
We should inform them about the bounty. That's 400 gold if we do that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, we have some updates, but unfortunately, the best information that we've been given so far is that they are east. So
There's a survivor of one of those attacks.
there's what?
That there was a survivor that survived.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, so do you not want to go do it, or?
Oh no, I do. We just don't know. Nobody knows where it's actually. It's just in the east direction. All the attacks happen from the east. That's like all we were given.
I mean, when was the most recent one?
This is all within the month.
I mean, specific though.
Mm, Um, Dom,
Huh.
I don't know this answer.
I don't think we
Did
got this answer, actually.
We can find out. Maybe.
Mainly asking because, if we need a lead, we gotta know where to start walking.
Well, Beverly did say the gun loader would have more information, so I guess we just wait for her to get on so we can ask more questions.
That too.
You see Gunloda enter the tavern. Everyone in the
Unfortunate.
tavern, everyone in the tavern, all the locals turn and scream out her name, and she's like, "Yeah, calm down, you drunks." And she heads behind the bar to take over for Beverly.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
We do not have the copyright for that.
Oh, we're gonna get sued so hard.
So who wants to be the one to go talk to her? Dom, I vote you. You have the most knowledge on this.
Sure.
Okay, ask her
You know,
where.
you could go with me.
I mean, you want me to?
I mean, anyone who has any good questions should.
I didn't want to presume.
That your questions are good.
So
Yeah,
respectful. Such a respectful
almost
person.
exactly that. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Cool. The two you approach, and you overhear Beverly as she's drying her hands and putting her towel up. She's like, "Yeah, a lot of people have been drinking all day since news of Brian hit. You heard about all that, right?" Guns is like, "Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, Brom? You really think Brom did it? I don't know. It's what people are saying." All right, well. Thanks for taking care of things in the morning. And Beverly heads off. Gunloader turns to see y'all. Oh, hello. Good to see you again. What can I do for you?
We just have some questions on Drogar the Red and the bounty associated with. Specifically, we're trying to find leads so that it's real quick and efficient. How we deal with him, seeing as how we only have 2 days left.
All right. Well, what can I help you with?
I guess the most recent attack and any patterns between the attacks, specifically anything that'll give us information as to location. Once we have
Yeah.
location, we can take care of the rest.
Mostly wares and wins, or at least mostly recent wares and wins. Super old ones, not so much.
Frequency too.
Well, the frequency is a little random. It's not exactly a regular occurrence. They kind of Drogo and his band, goblins, just kind of come in whenever they feel like it.
Have they ever done twice in a day or twice in 2 days?
Not that I can recall.
Hmm.
But the most recent one was about 2 weeks ago. So I'd say we're probably overdue.
What do they
Though,
typically? What do they typically take?
oh, well, mostly along the eastern edge of the city. A couple farmsteads out there has been hit with it. Livestock has gone missing in some other areas as well, but as far as like direct attacks, mostly on that side of town.
And they just take livestock. They don't take anything else.
Well, they'll take anything that's valuable that they think is valuable. They've taken people before, not always, but sometimes.
Mm.
We put up that bounty for over a month. I mean, we've only had only a couple people ask about it. There were people a few days ago that actually went. They seemed serious. They were asking a lot of the same kind of questions.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to keep an eye out for them for sure.
Do you know where they started looking?
I imagine to the eastern side of town. I mean, once you leave all the farmsteads, I mean, it's just wild out there. I mean, we don't go out there. It's not very safe.
Did any of these others return by chance?
You mean other people looking for the bounty?
Yeah.
Well, the only group that seems serious left a few days ago, but we haven't seen or heard from them since. You know it too. One of them was a big orc. The other one, like your friend, and she like gestures towards Kalawunax.
Do you know if they had horses or was they traveling on foot?
Can't rightly say.
Is there anything else you think we should know, or any like little inklings, like things you maybe don't think you should tell us because it sounds dumb, or
Well, I mean, if they're raiding villages, right? Like, they have to feel confident for that. I mean, they know, like, they can't, like, eventually someone's gonna deal with it, right? So, I mean, they must feel strong in their position. I mean, if this keeps going on for much longer, I mean, he's just gonna gain more notoriety with their kind, and it's gonna become a much bigger problem in the region.
Someone mentioned something about a survivor of one of the attacks. Could you point us in the direction of their house?
Oh, no need. And she points behind you all to this gentleman. Here, this gentleman here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's Mads. Yeah, he don't like talking about it too much though. So
What do y'all think? Should we go and unfortunately try to terrorize another local, or should we just presume that heading eastward is going to point us in the right direction?
or I mean, leave well enough alone and not uh mount an assault on a bandit, maybe stronghold, certainly maybe fortified position.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe there's a way to lure them out, but seeing as how they take anything, it might be a little difficult to capture their attention.
Uh, I'll turn back to Gunloader. Do they attack much during caravans coming through, or do they wait till caravans is gone?
I can't rightly say. I don't think they really care much. They don't come into town, like not proper anyway. I mean, having them around, I mean, is dangerous for trade. I mean, this is all part of why we have the bounty up, right? Obviously, to try to keep our, Oakenstall safe, but to make sure that trade keeps coming in. I mean, look, the reward is good, but I'll tell you, we'll be very thankful if you all could take care of this.
Last question. Do you think they's got anybody on the inside? Anybody that's like feeding them where to hit, who to hit, best times, best people?
I never considered that. Um, Folk here, I mean, it's a pretty tight knit community. You know, we try to look out for one another for the most part. I can't imagine anyone doing that to their own.
Anybody coming in here being like a big spender right after one of their little assaults, or maybe right before one of them?
Not that I can recall.
Maybe not then.
Mm.
Figured maybe if somebody was giving them a taste, they would maybe feed them some info, but
Mm. You know, my grandpappy used to say that, the longer you let one of these things go, the stronger they get, the more they draw in stronger goblins, that their kind just keeps growing. And I mean, I don't know much about their kind myself, but
Yeah, no, that's generally how species of any kind, human, elf, goblinoid, or otherwise, tend to behave. Yes.
well, just be careful, whatever you choose to do.
yeah, as we step away, I will say to the other two, okay, he wants to go talk to Mads. I don't have the softest touch when it comes to.
I'll do it. Terrorism locals seems to be our forte.
Okay, I was hoping maybe you wouldn't terrorize the man, but
I mean, it's a traumatic event. I think even with the delicacy that I plan on using, there's some trauma to be had.
oh, fair enough. As long as you're trying to use some delicacy, maybe.
I will do my best to not further traumatize this man.
I do like how.
What was that?
I like how the accent is starting to become infectious to other party members.
I
That's
know.
right.
Shut
Merv's
up.
Let it,
accent?
let
Yeah.
it in. Let it into your heart.
It gets
You just
inside.
open
problem-
it up, and it kind of just gets in there.
The problem is, anytime I lower my voice, it just defaults to country for some
Right.
reason.
Get a little bit drawly.
And I'm trying my best not to
And
do it at all.
I
And
must
yet,
tell you, the amount of Ted Lasso I've been watching has made my accent even more powerful.
I hate you. Remind me the name of this poor man.
It's Mads.
Mads.
It's this dwarven fella right over here.
I'm going back to our table.
Hi there. Is this seat taken?
He looks up at you, and looks at the seat. No, it's empty.
Great, thank you. I have some questions to ask you, if you don't mind. I hear you are a survivor of the goblin attacks. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's about accurate.
Yeah.
You can see as he says that he turns his face to, like, he turns in his chair, so you can see like the right side of his face, and there's like gnarly scars on it.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. It must have been horrible.
Well, it wasn't easy.
So my friends over there and I, we are very interested in seeking revenge and collecting said bounty on these things. The problem is, outside of East, we haven't really been given much as far as location goes. And seeing as how we only have 2 days, we're trying to make this as quick as possible. Is there anything that you saw before, during, or after the attack that might help us in our investigation? Like perhaps you saw them when they leave go a certain way or come from a certain place or maybe even say something while they were there.
Um, he shifts back in his chair and looks across at the elven man sitting across from him, and the elven man nods and says, "It's all right, Mads. It's all right." Mads takes a drink of his ale and kind of like stares across, just into like the end of the bar, just in the distance, right? His eyes going a little far as he seems to be reliving moments.
I put my hand on his shoulder.
He says, "They came at night. At first we thought, maybe the dog knocked something over. They start barking and they stopped, and my wife and I got up to check. We heard some rummaging around downstairs, and we walked down. There was three of them things, just tearing apart our house, just looking for anything that caught their fancy. They started shoving into sacks they were carrying. I was so scared. My wife screamed, and they turned, dropped their sacks, and pulled out blades, and they just rushed us, screaming that language of theirs.
You were able
Xander,
to.
help me. I ran. I ran.
Look, I know you may not be proud of running, but you're helping us with this, and we will get justice for your wife. And for anyone else, or not anyone else, for everyone else who suffered because of these people, these goblins.
They dragged me outside my house, laid me next to my wife's body, and I saw that thing. The one from the bounty sheet. He just laughed. Took his blade, left me with this, and just laughed. I didn't see where they went exactly, but you find them. You cut them up real good. You hear me?
I squeeze the shoulder. I give you my word.
Yeah, just takes a sip of his ale.
All right. And I just want to clarify, you didn't see which way they left, right?
Kind of like looks like around the place, like he's gathering his like bearings a bit. My place it's on the edge of town to the east. Outside there is just the wild. I mean, they must got some place out there. I mean, from what I hear, there's a lot of them. So finding them shouldn't be too hard.
Well, I thank you for your time.
He nods and just returns to his drink, and the elven man across the way just kind of places his hand on the hand he's holding his cup with, and just pats it. It's all right, man. It's okay.
I will pat him on the shoulder, and then I'll walk back to the group.
Cool.
Well, unfortunately, there was not a ton of new information that we got. More tactics than anything else, but supposedly there's a lot of them, so we may need to rethink our plan of attack here.
I mean, it's unlikely that we're going to be walking entirely out of this fella Drogar's realm of influence for a while, so even if we don't get to it within what we gave ourselves, some 48 hours,
Yeah.
it's not as if this bounty's going anywhere.
DM, I'm sure I forgot to ask this question, but how long ago was the attack on Mads?
That would have been. He would inform you that that attack itself was like 3 weeks ago. The most recent attack was like roughly 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I feel like after 2 weeks, the trail is going to be really hard to follow.
Yeah.
uh,
I would like to ask the group, who knows what direction we came into town from?
Southeast, right?
Yeah, you were traveling. Yeah, you came in from the southeast. Yeah,
So we were headed west. Then.
headed west. Correct.
So if I'm understanding this group of goblin hobthings that we saved Rael from is most likely the same group that we are looking for.
I mean, it's possible, but you don't have the context or knowledge to verify that.
Oh no, that was like me throwing that
Yeah, okay.
concept to the group of like, if we came that way, we got attacked by said goblins. I assume we could track said goblins because there was a lot when we were running. We could always go back and double check. What was it called? The horse. What was it called?
the Horps?
Yep, the horse. We can go back to the crime scene.
How far away was that, DM?
A day or so travel.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have that time.
yeah, no, it's another days. Oh well. Come on.
Does anyone have anything better to do for the next 48 hours?
Frame prop.
As a matter of fact, I do not.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I don't know if going back all the way to the Horps is the best use of our time. Is the only thing that I'm bringing up. I still think we should chase this bounty. I just don't know. Forgot what I was going to say.
No, I completely agree with you, Dom. I think heading back to where the previous attack happened, we'd spend a day getting back there and then have to turn around, and a day getting back to town be pointless. But I do think that wandering around just east of town, maybe we get lucky and find ourselves with 400 gold richer. But more likely than not, it's just a way to spend the next 2 days until it's time for the caravan to head out. And then once the caravan heads out, we're headed in the opposite direction of where these attacks are coming from.
I'm down with it. Why not? We don't have to go all the way back. Like he said, we just go to the edge of town. Just fiddle around.
Who knows? Maybe we get lucky.
I think the best thing to do is go to the last place that they attacked.
Huzzah. All in favor of running to Mads' house? Mads
was 3 weeks ago. We're going somewhere else that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, never mind. Whoever's house this might be. We all vote to go?
Aye.
Aye.
Eastward, yeah.
What'd you say?
Just said eastward. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, very well. Who wants to lead the way? I don't know which house this is.
Cal will finish his drink and say, "Yes, Ember and I have a pit stop to make first, and then we'll head out. Don't we, Ember?"
Ted, you were muted if you were trying to talk.
I was unaware of that. I said Ember would be up in her room. She's doing an hour-long ritual.
Oh, gotcha.
You would have had time, like while like the whole Zane thing was going on, like you would have had time to finish all that.
Oh, okay. I am using my Channel Divinity Artisan's Blessing to turn the bucket, and however much extra money is necessary to equal out the cost of the bucket and a helmet, to turn this bucket into an actual helmet.
Okay.
Wow.
Holy shit, Ember! You are
Yeah, I
incredibly
mean,
skilled.
it works. And you don't need more money. Like you have like it's a bucket. It can be reformed and reshaped through this ability. We although like no one is there to see it, but you are there. Like, what does it look like when Amber does this?
Um, it looks. She will set out all of her smithing tools, and even though the actual process of smithing is not done, it, the sort of the ritual motions basically simulate what she would be doing were she um, actually smithing. So there's the slow process of marking where the face plate will come out, and then it just vanishes. And as she is muttering to herself in primordial the whole time, eventually the helmet just uh, sort of, I guess, morphs out of the bucket.
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, you come downstairs with your bucket, your bucket helmet, your bucket head.
Did
What
you
are we
make that up there?
what are we voting on?
Oh, we're trying to decide if we want to head out east and maybe take a look out for some hobgoblins.
I mean, I guess, sure, yeah.
Go.
Um, yeah, I just here you go. Go.
Exceptional work. Unbelievable. Can I even tell that this was once a bucket?
I don't think so. I mean, did you keep the handle, like the swinging handle part on it?
Yeah, the chin strap.
I mean, that's up to Amber to to decide.
There are some telltale spots that this was a bucket. Like the top of the helmet has a uh has a like the bottom of a bucket. There's like the inch footer on some metal buckets. This helmet has that, even if it's like crenellated. Um, Yeah, and yeah, we'll go with the swinging handle for the chin strap. This this isn't really meant for combat. This is meant for, hey, maybe don't get hit with a shovel.
Right.
Oh no.
But this is stunning. This is incredible. I mean, you've done all the hard work. Are you sure you don't want to pretend it to kill yourself?
Yeah. This is your idea. Yeah.
Very well. I will take the bucket and stride out of the bar.
Hell yeah. Does everyone get up to leave to go check out your bounty?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You exit out of the bar, kind of milling about near the center well, waiting for Cal. Cal, you head across. You don't immediately see Gil, but you can hear
smell him.
like, yeah,
Smell
you
that
can.
soot.
Yes, you smell the strong scent of soot.
Good Lord, Gil! Get out here,
You
my good man.
you find Gil like kind of peeks his head around the back of the barn and looks at you and like, oh hey there, hey.
Oh, Gil, good Lord. Listen, if you take one too many shots to the head, you will no longer be able to smell the aroma wafting off of that horseshoe. Wear this when you're on night watch, please.
He looks at the helmet, looks at you, and says, "Oh, I can. Oh, that. What do you think? You think you're over it?"
One way to find out.
He takes it and slides it over the dressings on his head wound, and pulls the chin strap down underneath his chin. It fits okay. I mean, it's a pretty big bucket, so kind of like he looks very he looks like he's wearing like a bucket helmet.
All right, Gil, stand right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll smack the side of the helmet and then like kneel down and look him in the eye and see how he's doing.
He kind of like stumbles a little bit when you do that, and looks at me like, "Wait, I hardly felt anything."
I give him a thumbs up and I'll walk off.
Yeah. Hey, wait, hey, Mister.
Yeah.
Hey, you know that you know Amber, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That I do. Remarkable
Oh.
individual.
Yeah, she's real pretty, like. Hey, you just tell her I said hi.
Well, most certainly, but
Yeah, and if she changes her mind about dinner, let her know. I'll shower and everything.
well, you do know how to woo an individual. I will inform them of your upped ante, and I am certain that that news will be taken well. You have a wonderful afternoon, Gil.
You see, as you're talking to him, he pulls out this horseshoe and just brings it up under his nose and starts sniffing it.
And I will rejoin the group.
Okay, you all are reconvened in the center of town.
Before we dip out, I would like to run into the general store real quick and buy 2 things if he has them.
Okay.
I just need to check and see if he has an eyelash encased in gum arabic, the stem of a plant with thorns, and just need to know how much they are if he does.
Wait a minute, son. If you're looking for eyelashes in gum Arabic,
Yes, gum arabic. Do you have any?
I got Arabic. Is that the same
Sure.
thing?
Sure, maybe.
Hold on. Let
Maybe.
me. Okay, hold on. The other thing sounds like you're looking for a twig, and I don't. I mean, I'll charge you for a twig, son, if that's what you're looking
It
for.
has to have thorns on it, so like more like a rose stem.
Hey, all right.
Aren't you a ranger?
He goes rummaging around in a back room, and he goes, wait a minute. Why didn't I think of this right away?" He sets like a little like small satchel on the countertop and flips its lid open. And as he opens the pouch to show you, you can see there's all these like little like individualized like little like compartments. Like you ever see like a camera carrying case,
Yes.
or camera bag, right? It has like all these little separated dividers, and there's all like sorts of different shit inside here. And he goes, "This here." It's Merv's voice is infecting me for this guy. This here is a bona fide component pouch.
Ah, yes. I've heard about these. Can I have it?
Well, I mean, you can have it if you pay for it. Yes.
How much? Don't tell me. Don't give me no outrageous like you're trying to rob me.
Does it look like robbing people here? This is all fine goods. It's missing a few things, but it probably has what you want. Do 20 gold for it.
20 gold. I'm like, give me 1 second, and I just poke my head out of the doorway, and I'm like, I need you guys to spot me in the future for a little bit, and I just run back, run back to him.
I'm not gonna.
Have you told us what you're doing? Because
I give the man the 20 gold because I want the set. I want the cat. I want the compartment pouch.
Okay.
Compartment pouch.
Yeah, you have yourself a component pouch that contains the components you need for spellcasting. You will need, if anything says like a twig that costs 10 gold, you do need to buy a twig that's worth 10 gold. But otherwise, if it doesn't list like a monetary value, the component pouch will contain it.
There you go. I could do that. That's fine. And then I thank him and I I'm like, hi, you guys. All right, thank you. All right.
We're probably not gonna spot you the gold you're looking for.
No, not right now. I just meant like if we get a room or something like that. Unless we find money in the meantime.
Well, if it all comes out peachy keen, then we're all gonna be what? How many are there here? Don't matter. We're all going to be theoretically earning some gold here, so.
Okay, works for me. But I am ready.
Okay. You head towards the eastern side of Oakenstall, past Brian Flowers' house, where you can see people are setting up a vigil.
Shouldn't laugh. I know he's a regular person to them, but
it's funny. It is objectively funny given our context. You head outside, and you find yourself on the edge of town here. You think some of these farmsteads probably like are even abandoned this far out, and then before you is the expansive forests that fill a lot of the space of the wild itself, like an ominous wall of the unknown beyond. How do you proceed?
It's a great question.
For animal paths.
Looking for animal paths. Okay,
Like
yeah.
not like tracks, but like you
Deer
know
trail.
how. Yes, thank you. Game trail. That's the exact phrase.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like survival and nature if I've ever heard it.
Agreed.
If you want to help me, I'll roll survival.
I got a +4.
What is mine? I actually think I have the same.
Okay, I'll let you roll. You've been rolling fantastic lately, my dude.
I don't know if that's true, but I don't know if you remember my last survival roll.
Yeah, I do.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Redemption. There you go.
Okay, you're talking about how to proceed right at the kind of the edges of the wild, and the idea of looking for game trail comes up, and you all kind of like spread out just a little bit in your area, and Dom, you and Rainier both catch eye of what looks like probably like a large kind of a game trail, probably for like deer might have come through this way. And Dom, you take a few steps into the forest, kind of just trailing it for a bit, and you check some of the tracks, and on a nat 2024, as you're checking some of the tracks, you clear away some brush and debris, and you see another set of tracks, and then a couple more, a little haphazard, but humanoid, kinda small, based on the indentation that they've made left behind. Looks like probably maybe a half dozen, likely. Definitely not animals. And based on like the gait and separation of like, you see like toe markings that have like almost like they've almost dug in a bit like claws do. Most likely not human. You, after a few moments of like investigating it, on with a nat 2024, you are certain these are goblin tracks.
Tight.
Well, I'll be fucking damned.
I thought this was going to be harder.
I mean, good shit. How'd you know how to do that?
Practice.
And you can see you can follow these easily.
Yeah, I think we should be moving stealthily as we get closer.
I mean, should we wait for that time?
Perhaps, but it kind of sounds like that's when they may attack. I think.
I also cannot see at night, and I believe
I
that
can't either.
most goblinoids can. So
Right. Okay, daytime raid.
You follow the tracks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
leave stealthily, I think.
If anybody wants to stealth as they're going, you can roll stealth.
Finally.
Oof.
You know what? It's because all the clinking bottles are in the bag of holding now. I don't fucking clink everywhere I go.
Oh, Ted, that's rough to see. The
God, it hurts.
the disadvantage
God.
on a stealth. Oh, that's tough, buddy.
Fuck. Oh, we're doing great.
Okay.
In case you want to see what your next RNG would have been, we're just gonna throw this. We're just gonna throw this shit on the floor right here.
I do. Oh, I love. Oh, Doug, that's such a regression to the mean.
Yeah, sure is.
It's so powerful. You were so excited about
an
it.
expert. An expert at failing.
I love how you got a 9 with a natural 1. That's fucking.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fucking rogues, baby.
Yeah, fucking rogue.
Rogues are great. Cool. You follow the trail. Dom leading the way. Cutting through the forest like a knife. Some of you are moving like like you look around and you see some of you are moving almost like you were born in the woods. Barely a sound is made as you stalk your way forward. This slows your pace down as you're all kind of like crouching, taking your time, right? Moving softly and slowly. Dom, you're a little more focused on like you're keeping your eye on the path. So you're moving a little quicker than the others. So you're just a little bit far ahead, every now and then having to stop and let them, catch up to you. This, you go on this way for like an hour, and it's like, it's a little exhausting, like crouching for an hour. So like your thighs, everybody's thighs are like burning as you're doing this. You see that the trail meanders a bit. It's not a straight line. It moves with the curvature of the landscape, the hills and whatnot. Cuts through a stream or two. You see the landscape also begins to become a little bit more rocky as you're making your way deeper and deeper into the wilds themselves. Um, uh, the There is still light coming in from the canopy over top, You hear the sound of birds chirping, and you can see occasional like rabbits darting here. There's abundant life in this place. Um, Another half hour goes by, and the ground becomes again further. You start seeing like large rock structures like jutting out of the ground in places that the trail kind of cuts nearby. Um, you come to a section that it becomes like thicker and thicker, and then you can see almost like it almost breaks a bit, and through the trees you can make out like a large rocky hill, very very large, probably like maybe 100 feet tall in entirety. Um, and as you stealth your way towards the edge of that opening, um, you can see probably about 50 feet ahead of you the opening of a cave in this rocky hill, and you can also hear like voices, but they're speaking in a language that you all don't understand, like kind of a guttural gnashing kind of noise. And as you get closer and closer, you can make out two goblin sentries standing in front of this cave opening that occasionally seem to like talk to each other, and will every now and then like grab each other and wrestle over like a scrap of meat one of them is eating, and then return to their posts afterwards. Um, what do you all do?
My.
I mean, do we go in guns blazing?
No.
Just
Yeah.
Just that. I
just
suggest we
fucking
did.
kill him.
How big is the opening to the cave?
All told, the opening, it's 20 feet wide,
Damn it.
roughly about 20 feet tall as well. Kind of a rounded curve to it.
I was hoping to like funnel them, but that's way too big to be effective.
Yeah. And from where you are, you see like the cave actually like that like goes in quite a bit, and then your sight is kind of limited as it's dark inside that cave.
Approximately how far are we from these goblins and the opening of the cave?
Roughly 50 feet at this point. And you are like within like bush and cover.
Do we want to like time it, and we all just like fire some shit off?
I mean, we could try to take out those two, but we definitely run the risk of disturbing the hornet's nest.
Maybe we
Right.
could. Maybe we could lure those two into the bushes. Maybe sounds of a wounded animal or something.
Yeah, I could do that. You want me to do that? I can make that sound.
I'm a little out of my element. Those of you with more experience in the wilderness, how does that sound?
Well, I'm very obstinate for this. However, I have the ability to speak to animals, so I can ask them to try and lure these goblins closer to us.
Ooh. Like run out there and like wiggle its tail.
A little bit, like make it look like it's a snack. I just don't see that working, though. I don't know
Kel,
what.
you think you can make a sound?
I can make a sound.
Oh no.
I mean like an animal scream.
Yeah, absolutely. I can make it real annoying too, so that they'll come out and mercy kill it. Well, I can try. I can't accurately predict what they'll do.
Okay. Anybody else have any
Yeah.
additions to Cal's plan?
No. Not at the moment.
We can also. I I don't know if it's a good idea, but since there are no stupid ideas, we could have one of us look bloodied up and attempt to run to them for help. Not run to them, obviously. The point is to get them to come to us, but make it look like they're lost.
But then they'll just shoot you with arrows, probably. Or
Yeah.
like throw a spear at you.
I did say it wasn't a good plan.
I mean, I appreciate that. So everybody like won't get ready, and then Cal, can you make a noise, or you want me to do it?
Well, by all means, why don't you?
Or you want to do it, Dominic?
You know, I was thinking maybe not necessarily a wounded animal, but just a noise that isn't exactly natural that they may want to check out, if that makes sense. Like a beeping.
Yeah, my concern there
It's
is
funny
if
you
it's-
say that, Dom, because as you're shifting your weight, like a branch that you didn't see is right underneath
Yep.
your foot, and there's a loud crack as the wood snaps.
There's my nat one.
And you see that like you all like look at each other and then look over at the two goblin sentries, and you see that one of them is busy like digging something out of its teeth with its clawed hands, and with the other one on the right hand side of the cave from your perspective is like its head snaps up and is like looking in the direction, though it doesn't seem to like notice any of you yet. It is like aware of the sound and is like beginning to take a few steps forward.
Well, that worked.
You see it you can hear it say something in goblin, and the other one responds, and the one that's walking, you see it draws a blade, like a gnarly looking jagged scimitar, and then the other one has a little short bow it picks up and pulls out these like darkened looking arrows, and it stands ready while the other one begins approaching the sound of that it heard.
I am going to ready my crossbow, and as I do so, there's a lightness that comes over his eyes, and like a white heat, and like a breath of life escapes him some, and I'll activate my crimson right.
Crimson right.
I will pull out my bow and ready it.
Yep.
Same.
Ready a rock to shoot the archer that's on Overwatch.
Okay.
Bonus
The
action. Get ready.
the archer stays where it is, just kind of like just looking out, bow at, starting like keeping the arrow notched. The goblin coming forward is about 40 feet, 35 feet, 30 feet, 25.
That's when I would try to shoot him.
At 25 feet?
Hmm.
Okay.
How far away is
Um,
the other one?
About 50, I think.
yeah, he'd be about,
Yeah.
from where you
I'm
are.
aiming
50.
at him.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. They are both, just so you can see, right? They're both wearing, kind of like patchworked leathered armor. You can see like they have small shields. The sword one does not have the shield like in hand, but like they both have them. But you can see, you can make out they do have some armor on them. Okay. Okay, we'll go down the line. Rainier, are you shooting left or right? Or sorry, I'll say bow or sword guy.
Bow.
Bow guy. Okay, he's farther.
Okay.
Okay.
How far is he?
50.
Yeah.
Sword guy is 25.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, that's what I want. He's still definitely within my range.
Okay.
Do I have advantage from being hidden? Or is
You
that
all will have advantage because you are hidden right now.
okay? So let's see if I can figure out how to. Maybe I can't right now. It's fine. And then roll with advantage just to see.
Hot damn.
That hits.
Yeah, so that is 12 piercing damage and 2 points of fire damage.
Okay. This bolt whistles through the air, and you see it impact in like to the side, like right on the side of its throat, and like shoot through. And you see like a bit of its neck kind of rip a bit, and a gout of flames suddenly explode and begin covering its face. It drops the short bow, reaches up, and is like grabbing to stem the blood. Not dead, but dying. an incredible
Damn.
an incredible hit.
Oh, actually, hold on. I think I actually have a feature as piercer. Yes, I do. Hold on. Let me just read it real quick.
Sure.
If I could get it to open, please. Okay. I can re-roll one of the piercing damage die. Oh, I rolled an 8. Okay,
You
yeah,
rolled
no,
an
I'm
8.
gonna
Yeah,
leave.
that's
Yeah, I'll leave that.
You'll get
Yeah.
lower for sure.
Yeah.
It's the dice do not love you. Remember this. They're not your friends in reality.
Yes, thank you.
An incredible attack. Okay. I'm just gonna go like down the line. Well, I'm looking at you all. So, Merv, what are you doing?
I was firing a rock at the archer.
Archer guy. Okay, fire away.
Yep. And another one. Better.
Okay, the 19 hits. So he reaches up to grab his throat, and a little rock snaps against the side of his head, and you see him like just like tilt, like hit the rock wall and just slide down. You from where you're from everybody's vantage point, this guy is definitely gone. Okay, Laylis.
When the other one got shot, did the sword one react to him going down? Like, did he turn around?
He's beginning to, but like this is all
Yes,
happening, right? So like he this is like slow mo to him, right? Because you're all ready.
I'm going to use my bow, and as the one with the short sword is turning around,
Mm-hmm.
aiming for like the side of his head, like right into his ear.
Hmm?
He doesn't want to hear. Fine.
Okay, and then you can roll with advantage. You can either just re-roll again, or in the where the 17 attack is in the chat, there's a little. If on the right hand side, there's a plus symbol that will re-roll with advantage. Okay, so the 17 hits for 8 piercing. You see, it doesn't like pierce through his head, but like it thunks in and like knocks and kind of skids off the side of his skull, and leaves a like a very heavy gash along it, and you can hear him like crying out in pain.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, Dominic.
Hopefully, I'm going to finish that guy off. And boom. Nope, didn't do that right. Boom.
Wow.
Wow.
Double ones, cursed. Your arrow sails in like into the cave, and you can hear like a clatter.
Fucking perfect. How do... Bonus action hide.
All right, okay, roll stealth.
I'm so mad right now. Fuck you!
There's that nat 2028.
He's gone.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate this game.
All right, Cal.
Yeah, Cal will just sort of get quiet and stare out over the field, and cast a good old mind sliver.
Mind sliver. Okay. Oh my god. This goblin rolled a nat 20.
Oh, nice.
You're up, Ember.
Big brains. Yep, Ember. What do you got?
Ember holds out a hand. A blue and white sphere of flame appears, and she winds up. Does like a softball pitch. This does not need to be whispered. At advantage.
Oh, yeah, hits.
2 points of fire.
Okay. You see gout of flame rush over him. This goblin turns towards the tree line, and you hear it like screech loudly, and it turns and begins rushing inside of the cave opening. And that's where we'll end our game tonight. We'll pick up there next time.